So I went back to Hong Kong about a month ago and met Dokibird. Well, kind of. Let me explain. There's this anime convention that I go to every time I'm in Hong Kong, and they usually invite guests like Tamaki, Jackie Chan, and Anna from the Forbidden Agency. And this time, they invited Dokibird, Nene, and ReoNa. So of course I had to go there. Also, before going to ACGHK, I actually went to Taiwan, and let's just say I couldn't control myself. Look, it was my first time at an anime store, and look at this little guy. How could you not buy her? Anyways. Usually with anime conventions, you'd go on the first day to buy the shit you want before they sell out, and then you go to the days where they have events. And this was no exception. So the line on day 1 was long as hell, even though I arrived there at 7 AM, 3 whole hours before the convention starts. But hey, I'm sure that if I speedrun the whole convention, I can probably buy all the things I want, right? And so I beeline straight towards the unofficial Hololive booth and spent a third of my budget there. Blue Archive also had a whole section for the 3rd anniversary, and they had a wall for people to write stuff on. So I wrote down a comment to the cute and funny student, and this is what the board looks like after 4 days. Completely illegible. Next up, we have the Artist Alley, which is honestly one of the best parts of the convention, since it's kinda hard to find these stuff outside. There's a lot of VTuber, Blue Archives, Boreal stuff, and this. Yeah, I don't know how to transition out of this. Yeah, apparently she had a booth along with her panel, and by complete coincidence, my friend and I got front row tickets to her panel just for buying her merch early. So get fucked, Dragoons. And while I was in line, I checked Twitter and found out the Kagura Nana was here. You know, the one who drew Ayame. And all of her stuff has been sold out for today. And she's only gonna be here for day 1 and 2. So, day 2. Luckily, the line's a lot shorter than yesterday, so I can finally buy her signed CD, and it's all sold out. Again. But hey, at least I got my new family heirloom, so mission accomplished. And finally, the part you've all been waiting for, Doki's panel. It was at 6:30, so I assumed that by going 2 hours earlier, it would be enough to make it into the venue, and I am fucked. But the line was actually moving faster than I expected. Like, I was in front of the venue about 1 hour in. I could make it. And then I found out that there was a second fucking phase. So, we were forced to use our last resort. A VIP ticket. That's right, I was gonna give this to a friend, but fuck that. Because I am not wasting my front row ticket. And that's how I made it into the panel in time. And I got to go on stage to play Doki Says. And holy shit, that's a lot of people. I was nervous as hell, but at least I didn't get eliminated first, which might have made me a bit cocky. And hey, we should do the Mario jump, okay?
Doki wa 2, Doki wa 2, Doki wa 2, Doki wa 2, 2.
Also, I bought more Doki merch, and on to day 4! We arrived at 7 AM because I'm not making that mistake again. Since we had some time to kill, my friends and I strolled around the convention a bit, might have bought more stuff, before heading to the main stage about 2 hours before the panel starts. And it was already pretty crowded, and understandably so, because this was the first Hololive meet in Hong Kong. And by the way, there was a fan who was handing out some free Nene stuff, so thank you. And then they brought out a whole fucking Nene standee right before the panel starts. The panel was great, but we weren't allowed to record it, so on to day 5. I basically had nothing to do for the first few hours, so I bought more stuff. And I did not learn from my past mistakes, because I went to the main stage only 40 minutes before start time. And yep, that is a lot of people. In fact, I could not see shit unless I went on my tippy toes. Fast forward to the start of the concert, and the audience is even bigger than Nene's panel. And that's because it was an amazing mini concert. It was the first concert that my parents didn't drag me to, and it just made it all the more memorable for me. And honestly, those 5 days were some of the most fun I've had in a while. And now that I'm back in England and have organized my stuff, I might need to buy a new shelf.